Hey there, welcome to a brand new episode of Muzikxpress. My name is Twan, and in this week's vlog you will see my interview with the guys from Slusnik Luna about their classic Sun. But before we start with the interview, please make sure to subscribe to my channel, and very important, also make sure to click the bell button, because then you will get a notification the next time a new vlog is online. And if you enjoy my interviews and you want to support Muzikxpress, you can do that via one of the links in the video description. Every donation is very much appreciated. Alright, here it is, the story behind Sun, my interview with Slusnik Luna. Enjoy! Slusnik Luna is a project from Niko Nyman and Nicklas Renqvist, two producers from Helsinki in Finland. In October 2000, their debut single Sun came out via Unity Records, which was a label from the people behind the Helsinki club night Club Unity. In the year 2001, Sun got licensed to UK-based label Incentive, and not long after that, the track became a big success in the clubs. Plus, Sun reached the number 40 position of the UK singles chart as well. For this week's vlog, I sat down with Niko and Nicklas for their very first ever video interview, in which I asked them about the story behind Sun and more. My first question to them was how old they were when they started to listen to music.
I was very young listening to music because my father was actually playing bands. Those silly, really cramped, these not famous bands. And he was there playing accordion and piano and whatnot. So ever since I was like a baby, I have had to listen to music at home. So, and my father loved music, so we have always had music in our house.
So what kind of bands or acts was it that you did listen to?
You don't want to know. But it was like country. And no, my father loved country music. Yes, Niko knows that. But what they played, it was like this underground rock music, really cheap.
Yeah.
So, but he played that and at home he listened to country music, and also then at some point started listening to synthesizer music. So since I was a kid, I've always kind of like had to listen to music.
Yeah. And what kind of music did you listen to when you were like younger?
I don't remember what I listened to when I was like really young. I remember that we had like this electric organ, Diamond 700.
Wow.
And I remember playing it when I was like 2 or 3 or something. And my father has these like cassette tapes.
Oh, really?
Recording.
Really? Oh, that's cool. So we can find him soon on school, right?
Remix.
Yeah. So did you also have like any music lessons then?
No, I went on piano lessons when I was like a teenager, early teenager. And I think I went there. I actually went on two times I went to piano lessons. The first time I went to, this was like a guy from church or something like this. Our family doesn't go to the church, but the guy who was teaching piano was from church. And I went there maybe 3 times. On the second time, he gave me a lesson what I have to play.
Yeah.
And he said that when you play it, you have to change this one note. That you play differently. He was blind, by the way.
Oh.
So he knew everything like by heart, all the notes in the books, and that he said that, okay, you play this song, but you have to change the last notes like this. And they're like, okay. I go home, I practice. I went 3rd time, I went there, and I play the way that he had instructed. And he's like really angry that I'm playing it wrong. You have the last notes wrong. And I come home from there and I'm not going there.
For me, like playing like is cool in Finland. I'm not sure if it's same that applied to your school because you're much younger than I am. But when I was a kid, we had to actually play instruments. It was actually mandatory. So the first instruments was this. I don't know what the flute is called in English. Flute? No, it's yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know the name for it in English, but it's like this weird flute that you have to play in school. And you had to learn it. It was like mandatory. And from there on, it was also mandatory to learn guitar, drums, singing, and piano.
Okay.
But it's in school, so it's not like you're not taking lessons or anything. It's just like you have to learn the basics, and then you get a grade, and based on that grade, then you get your like final grade. So how well you sing, how well you play guitar, piano, drums, whatever. And it was like when I was a kid, because it was in the 70s or in the early 80s. So now I blew out my cover how old I am. But anyway, so it was really mandatory for me. So that's why I started playing instruments very young. But I never really found the thing I was like really into. Maybe drums mostly and stuff like this. But
So around the time, was it also like, okay, I want to do something in music later?
I played in a band, a school band, drums for a while, but they wanted to do some more heavy stuff, and I didn't really like that. So, and I started more like I was more into to pop music and kind of like this stuff. So, and synthesizer music and computer music, especially as well.
It was like the 80s, I guess.
Yeah, it was like when I got my first computers, the Commodore 64 and all those. I really, really loved Commodore 64, like chiptunes. And I remember my mom was pulling her hair off her head because she hated it. It was like bleeps and blops, and she was like, "That's not music." And I'm like, "Yes, it is." And she like turned down the volume, and I really love that stuff. So kind of like that also maybe.
Yeah.
It has had influence in the music that we've been producing.
Yeah.
But for me, at least.
Yeah. And for you, after your 3 piano lessons, you were like, okay, I want to do something in music or not anymore.
When I was a kid, I was always listening to the vinyls that we had, like mostly Finnish rock bands and that kind of stuff, and drumming at the same time, like small drum,
Bongos.
right? And then slowly taking up piano, trying guitar a little bit. I wasn't very good with any of the instruments, but I was. Let's say that I have enthusiasm.
Yeah, you were passionate about
No skill, but enthusiasm at that point. And then I went again to piano lessons when I was maybe, I don't remember, maybe 14 or something like this.
Yeah.
And again, I was there like maybe 4 times. But that was that was nicer because it was a friend who was like a jazz pianist. So he was teaching like the jazz chords. He was more interested.
So you go from 3 lessons to 4 lessons. So
Improvement. Yeah, that didn't last either.
yeah.
But I was playing the school band as well,
Yeah.
and I think it was fun, and also it was a way to escape the liikuntatunnit. What is it?
Gymnastics.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, that was a good excuse. So around what age did you start like with producing yourself, like actually making music?
I think I got my first synthesizer when I was maybe 13, I think.
I have the same thing. I remember which one is Yamaha PSR 47.
Yeah. Do you still have it?
No.
Actually, that's true. I think I had one of those PSR, Yamaha PSR series, like the smaller one. I had first, now that I think of it, but then I got my first real synthesizer, Roland D5.
Ah.
Oh, fancy. I still have it?
Probably. Technically.
Okay.
It's been borrowed like 20 years ago. But I think it's somewhere.
Yeah.
Anyway, then I got that. Then after 1 or 2 years, I got Amiga computers and sequencer for that.
Yeah.
So I started experimenting with that.
And was it like the tracker programs?
Yeah.
Then I found that I actually got like a, what was it called? I think it was like the predecessor to Cubase. Was it Tiger Cub or something like that?
I can't remember.
Like a smaller sequencer software, MIDI sequencer. And then after that, I found Pro Tracker and started doing music with the tracker.
Yeah. So do you recall your very first release?
That was later.
I think he knows it.
No, I don't.
Well, I don't remember what was the first one.
But I had actually the same thing. I was also like, when I got the Commodore 64, right? I was really into like listening to music, but then I also started thinking, okay, how can I make my own? And then I realized that there were no trackers. Well, there was trackers, but how to get them was too far away. So I had started like programming to make music. And that actually, I was like night and day reading how to do that. And then it was really difficult for me. Mm-hmm. But anyway, so I started making music on the 64. And then when I got my Amiga, I also started making like tracker tunes.
Yeah.
And was like in a couple of demo groups, like you were also, like.
Yeah, I think that was a big thing back then. You know, the demo groups.
It was huge. Yeah. It was like really big. And then from there, like kind of like I started like making music for myself.
Yeah.
Or for the group.
Yeah. I was going to say that I was also in the demo groups, but I was active maybe for 2 or I think maximum of 3 years. Very short period of time, but I was doing music like 3 tracks a day. I had a huge library of course they were not really good, all of them.
But you can find them online.
Yeah, you can find a lot of them online. But I was doing a lot of it, like all the time.
Oh, that's cool. So yeah, for this interview, we're going to talk about Son, a track you guys released in the year 2000 under a project named Slusnik Luna. First things first, how did the two of you get to meet?
It's a long story. I don't know how you can cut this to make it shorter, but
Just speed it up, like.
Well, I think
there was a radio program. There was a radio program in the Finnish radio.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, a very popular Friday night radio program where it was kind of like back in the days where you know, like MTV was still about music and not about shows. Mm-hmm. And they had a Friday night show where you could call in, same as in the radio show in Finland. You could call there, and then the guy there, the DJ or MC, what do you call it, he talked with people, play music, like you could request what kind of music you want to hear. And then it became, I don't know how, very popular to send in what then was called remixes. And so you could actually like make with your PC, Amiga, whatever, a track and send it on like a C cassette, really. This is so way back. And then he sent it in, and if he liked it, he played it. And you get a little bit of like, you know, that 50 minutes of fame.
Yeah, exactly.
And
some of those tracks came like quite popular. So people started calling in and asking him to play them again. Oh. So he was playing them again and again. And one of them was yours.
That's true.
I also sent something which was actually like even I've listened to it. It was like Amiga module Pro Tracker module, and it was like maybe you could say that it was kind of like a hard techno track. So not something that the Finnish public broadcasting company normally plays.
No, they don't.
Very different, and for some reason that became a little bit popular in the show.
Yeah.
Your track was more like a fun.
He was like a joke.
I like a joke.
I have to be, but totally.
It became really popular.
It became really popular. I had to be admit. I with my friend back then, we were. I'm not sure if I can say this, but we were out drinking underage, and where was I at age then? Well, I can't remember when. It's so long time ago, and we came back. We had recorded his show, right? Because we were out, and we listened to the show, and then there was this one guy who always kept calling in, and he was really annoying. One listener who called in, and then I sampled from the C cassette. I sampled to the Amiga, and I made like, we were so wasted. I made like this hardcore techno track. Like it was like we sampled from everywhere we could, and I set that cassette in just as a joke, and he played it. And then people started requesting it. And I was like, really? And then I was like, it's so bad. to be honest, the samples were bad. The everything was so bad. So I made a remix of a remix, and I sent that one in. And then he was like, this guy, the radio DJ was like, now we have a remix of the remix, which is super popular. I started playing that, and he played all the time in his show, not like normal radio, but in his show. And then one day when I came back from the army, which is mandatory in Finland, I came on leave, and then my mom is like, I live back at my mom's, and she's like, somebody has called you. He wants to talk to you about the music. And I'm like, what? And then I called him, and he was like, can you come to the studio to discuss? We want to put this on a record. And I was like, what? Are you kidding me? This has to be a joke, right? And then I went to the studio, and that's where Niko was, because you knew the guy and you were...
Yeah, I can tell how I ended up there. The guy who was in the radio, he was friends with one other guy who was a member of a popular Finnish, how would I say?
Well, pop music band.
Pop music band, yeah. And they were good friends. And the radio host had played some of these tapes to this guy who owned the studio. And the guy was thinking that, okay, some of these are quite good, that maybe I could work with these young guys. And the radio host called me first, which was also quite a surprise. And
it was a big name. It was a really big name.
Yeah, it was
everybody knew him.
Yeah, like a famous guy. So he called me and explained the situation and asked if I wanted to meet with this guy who owns the studio. And I was like, I don't know, 16, 17, maybe 17. Yeah. So I go, okay. And we arranged to meet. This was okay, of course, way back before mobile phones and stuff. So we arranged to meet in the city. I go there, and there's like two guys with long hair, cycling shorts, and they're like, come with us. It's for the studio.
Today that would be very suspicious.
That's sick. Yeah, I was like, there. Okay, if I still have a chance to go home or go to the studio, and I took the chance, and it was the right choice.
Yeah, you're still alive, so that's a good thing.
Yeah. And we went to their studio, and I don't explain where it was, but also the place was like really dodgy.
Very.
And we went there, and he kind of showed me the studio gear, which of course I had never seen or touched. And he kind of offered me not really like a job, but kind of an apprentice position. So I could go to the studio and work on some stuff with him. And probably the first release that you were asking was done when I was practicing, when I was making remixes of the old Finnish songs or something like that, which were put on some really cheap compilations. So something like that was the first.
Yeah.
But then I had already been there, working there maybe a couple of months, and then you came in with this song, and we had to make the Amiga track. Yeah, so like a professionally produced.
Was such a verbal.
We had a state-of-the-art 4-track digital recorder, which we used.
Didn't he have like a bigger one? Because I remember that his studio back in the days, he had like actually it's a very professional studio in that sense. It was dodgy. Yes, the place was very dodgy, but the equipment was really good.
Yeah, this wasn't like a digital tape. Digital tape was like the thing, but then it was like the standard, the high standard. But he had like a hard disk based digital recorder, which was like really future thing. Yeah. So editing with the screen like this.
It was really hard.
And we made this like professionally produced version of your track. And that went onto some compilation.
Yeah.
And it sold a lot, like the compilation.
Techno and Dance 5.
Yes.
I think the compilation was called. I was released by K-Tel.
Yeah.
which doesn't exist. I think it doesn't exist anymore. But yeah.
So now I'm curious, what was the track called?
No, we're not gonna go there. If this show is for kids, we cannot say the name here.
Yeah, Son. Were you guys inspired by something when you started to work on Son?
Not really. The Sun started in a way that I had played the chords and recorded the chords on my computer at some point. Just the chords, nothing else. And I think I played them to Orkidea at some point, and he liked them, or
Right.
I'm not sure. Maybe it was so that I played them and he kind of had heard them, and then like 2 years later he was like, "What about the chords that you played me?"
Oh, yeah, he had a good memory.
Yeah.
He has.
And should you work on those? And I was like, okay. And then I found them again and started making a track. And I don't remember that well anymore, but we were working towards this Sun Club night and kind of making a theme for that.
Or anthem.
Anthem, yeah. And then I made a version that was really close to the final version. And we went to the club, and Orkidea played it there, and it worked quite well. Let's say it that way.
I remember it was like a little bit rough around the corners still. And then I remember I came to your... Didn't you do that at your home studio, right?
Yeah, in my home.
Yeah. So I remember I went there, and then we talked about it and like the sounds and everything. I think Orkidea was there as well.
And I don't remember, but I just remember that we went to the club and Orkidea played it, and people are just dancing there on the first play. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, there's something here. I did something right.
Yeah, and I think back then the power chords, like what we call them today, they weren't too common back then. Mm-hmm. Like big power chords, which is like the main thing there. After a total silence, then it suddenly kicks in.
And I think the only thing after that, like first test play, that the only change that I really made was that Orkidea was saying that maybe there should be something that kind of keeps the rhythm when you have this silent space. So I added this hi-hat.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember because I was like completely solid in the first versions, and people are like, "Where's the beat?"
Oh, yeah.
And then like the chords comes just suddenly, and people are like, "Ah, what's happening?" So then I remember when the hi-hat was added, like, and it also gets quieter and quieter, but you can still hear it, so you know where we're going.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, clever. Yeah. So what kind of equipment was used?
The chords were from Yamaha CS1X.
Yeah. I presume pretty modified.
Not really. Okay. So courseware from there, I had an emulator sampler. Don't remember which one. Like the hardware sampler, a good one back then.
Yeah, nice.
What else? I was using. Well, that was very important. The Behringer, the final stage. The mastering
Finalizer?
I think was it finalizer?
Finalizer. Yeah.
The Behringer like master compressor.
Yeah.
Multiband compressor.
I think it was called Finalizer.
And it was I also had it, and I still have it.
What?
Yes. And I was actually,
You're gonna be kidding me?
Yeah. I was actually, it's in my basement. I was actually looking at the eBay like a couple of years, and people were paying like 3,000 for it.
Oh wow.
And it's the what is it called? Company. I think it's RME. Was founded by this guy who designed that's Behringer compressor, and it's like a very nowadays Behringer is more like making good copies of others equipment, but
I think they did it already back then.
Yeah, maybe it's now actually different, but back then if they were starting to make these copies with like cheaper components, but this was like really they used good components and people really loved the sound of it.
Yeah,
It had a sound.
Yeah, it was actually very, very impactful. I also had it in my studio. I was like the craziest thing. You can drive anything into it and it just like made it sound good. Yeah. It was kind of like nowadays when you had like software plugins and you just like, there were some plugins where you just like put something in there, you know, press a button and everything sounds nice. Yeah. This was back in the days when there were very, very limited
Combinator.
Combinator was the name. So on it, yeah. And so yeah, I remember that one. It was like insane. I remember I used it for everything, for drums. Like loop it through that into the computer, record it, and it was so good.
Yeah. So if anyone wants to buy it, 3,000. I know, 3,000.
So what was the role of each of you during the production?
For Son, I think it was quite completely my production.
Yeah.
We have always worked in a way that there are my songs, and there are your songs.
Yeah.
And I don't think there are some songs that we have done together.
Quite many of at least the remixes.
Yeah, but for example, Sinner.
Yeah.
Like almost completely your work.
Yeah.
It's more like you finished it and then you gave it to me to make the small edits and
and during production also, like I remember I'm coming to your place, listen to your songs and giving ideas or suggestions and what I think could be better. Maybe this pause is too long or this build up should be better or more like hyping up, and same vice versa. So Niko came to my studio quite many times and I just gave feedback, and maybe sometimes he pushed me away. I'm gonna play this. Then he started playing something in there. But that's how we have always worked.
Yeah. But it's always good if you have like a fresh ear listening to something and
exactly. And you have to be accept the other one's opinion and not like be, no, this is my song. Yeah. No, it has always been our song. And then we have done a lot of stuff together, like from like start to finish in the studio. Mm-hmm. And mostly remixes, but also some tunes like sitting in the studio, just making, you know, I mean, like in the early days, we were always at this weird studio. Weird, but that's two different studio. And then also like sitting in when Niko worked in another studio, we were there also sitting from like afternoon till the late hours, sitting there and working together, having fun and basically everything we did with music back in the days, we never thought about, you know, let's make this as a hit or a record. It was like, make this for fun and let's have fun with it.
Yeah, that's the most important. Yeah, I was fortunate enough to work in a studio for, it feels now like it was a really long time, but it was actually just like 1 year or maybe 1.5 years or so. But it was like a really big studio.
And was it like also a production company?
Yeah, they had 2 studio rooms, and the bigger one had an SSL desk, so it was like a proper studio. So it was quite nice for like the young guys. Yeah. 20 or something like that.
Yeah, it must be very impressive as well to see all the equipment.
Man, I have no idea. And we're like beginners, and they get like this huge SSL mixer, and you're like, it's fully automated. Yeah. So it's like, okay, let's reset it. The faders comes out. You're like, oh my god. And you're like,
and then when the guys who were actually running the studio, they were working there during the day, and when they left, then we came in and we worked there during the night.
Oh, that was a good deal.
Yeah, it was really nice, and it's actually so much fun.
Yeah.
So how long did it take you to finish Sun?
I don't remember.
Yeah, but was it something like it was very difficult, or was most of it like, okay, it was an easy track to produce?
I don't remember, but I would say that it was quite easy.
Yeah. Okay. That's good. Well, those are usually the best, right?
Yeah, but I remember that they were like I said, you had the test version like in the club, and then I remember we talked about how well it worked, because I was there also when they played it first time. And then we were like, okay, this could be like, but because in a home studio, right, you know that you cannot get perhaps the best sound. You don't know how it performs in a club with big loudspeakers and stuff. And then we go back and, okay, think about, okay, the bass or the bass line or the drums are not, they should be a little bit more up front or back. So I think it was maybe more or less like mixing a little bit and kind of like tuning and making sure.
Yeah, to make it sound right. And
Yeah, because also I have to remember there is no mastering. So it was all from whole studio.
Yeah.
So mastering was not an option back then.
Yeah. So when that version was finished, did you guys also, or did somebody test it out again in the club? In the Orchidia?
Yeah, he played it.
He was playing it, and that's how it eventually got released.
Yeah.
And earlier you asked about the equipment used to make it, and I just remember now that the blip sound, the melody, that's from Roland D5.
Yeah.
Keeps coming back.
Never good, because this is the thing. It's a track from 25 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's and some of the pads are from the core wave station.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah. So did you already have Slusnik Luna as artist name then?
Yeah.
What does it mean? What's the story behind it?
Okay. As you see, we have always been saying in public that it's a secret, or then that we don't know. I completely know where it comes from. Do you remember? Yes. Do you want to reveal it for the big masses, or should we still keep it as a secret?
Well, we can keep it as a secret.
Okay, let's keep it as a secret. Well, let's say that there is, it has a history and it has a story, but it's a very short story, and it has, I mean, like it's not a big thing. People come like live to ask me like, hey, where's that name coming from? It's so weird. And I'm like, well, and then I can tell in person, where it comes from. And people are like, you gotta be kidding me. I'm like, yeah, that's a true story. They're like, nah, you're kidding me. No, that's the true story. But for the masses, it's funnier to have it as a
as soon as this interview is over, you're gonna tell me.
Yes, I can tell you that.
Yeah. So Sun became the very first track on the Unity recordings. It came out in October 2000 via that label. So how were the reactions on the track after that release?
Yeah, Orchidea loved the track so much that he and a group of friends, we had been arranging a club called Club Unity, and he loved the track sound so much that he thought that they have to make a label that they can release that track.
Also, the track was made before the label was actually.
Yes.
Oh, really? Oh, that's cool.
So maybe there was an idea for the label. Before that, I don't know, but that was the first release.
Yeah.
And he sent it out to people he knew, and he sent it out to these, was it Canadian DJ duo? What was it called?
I can't remember.
I'm really bad with names. It will come back to me in 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm. And wait, was it not on this release?
And they actually, the other guy liked it so much that he sent his copy to Pete Tong.
So when I from Finland to Canada to Pete Tong in the UK.
Yeah. And then Pete Tong started playing it. So that's how it kind of, then we started to have reactions.
Yeah, it was like, I remember when Pete Tong played the track, he was like, I think we had recording of his radio show. Mm-hmm. And then I can't recall his words, but I remember it was like, here's an interesting, it starts like weird, like, here's an interesting track coming straight from Finland. And we were like, whoa. And then he played it, and he played it again. And then suddenly it gained traction all over the world. And everyone was like, what is this? Because back then, at least, I think when Pete Tong played a new song, it was kind of like people notice it. Yeah. Because everybody was listening to his show. So, and then kind of like, then we started getting calls.
Yeah, because Son became, first it got released like in Denmark, Australia, and USA, and also in the UK. In the UK, Incentive did release the track alongside a cool remix from Ambassador. Son did really well in the UK and even made it to the number 40 spot of the singles charts. So did you expect the track to be so successful after the release?
Never. No way. It was like, there was quite a big hype about it, and all the DJs around the world played it, and even big names which are still active today.
Yeah.
They played it, but we never, like I said earlier, that we never thought about like making records or producing, records. It was like more a fun project.
Yeah.
Because we always had a day job. So this was never a day job for us. It was always like this project, or a band project, what you want to call it, was always like having fun and doing new, like creating new music. And hey, what do you think about this? Hey, this is cool. It was never like, we never thought about it that, hey, this is going to be like our living or something.
Yeah, exactly. You were never in it for the money.
No, never.
And so music never was your full-time job.
For me, it was actually for you as well.
Yeah,
Before Sun.
Yeah, before Sun, I was actually a daytime producer as a living. But I was producing more like Finnish pop music, remixes for different bands or like Finnish bands or stuff like this. Commercials, movie themes and stuff like this. But then Slusnik Luna has always been like this,
A
hobby and
A side hustle.
yeah, a side hustle. Yeah, that's a good word. That's always been like this more like a project and fun thing.
Yeah, for fun.
Yeah, it's always like Niko said earlier when he was working at the studio, when from 9 to 5 hits, and then you can like switch everything off and put your disco lights on and start doing the fun stuff.
Yeah, nice. So in 2011, Anjuna Beats re-released Sun with some brand new remixes from people such as Genix, 4 Strings, Jonas Hamo, and some others. So did Anjuna Beats reach out to you guys if they could re-release the track, or how did this came about?
Well, actually, you had a studio after Sun.
Yeah,
After Sun.
after Sun. Oh, I see that joke there.
So you had another studio, but you had a studio with Paavo of Anjuna Beats.
No, now you're mixing up.
Am I?
Yes, you're like completed, like changing the time of. I had the studio with Paavo way before.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like
Don't believe anything I say.
no. Because after Sun was released, I actually quit my day job as a music producer, and I went into IT, startup company, software. And then I had one requirement for them to hire me was that I want one room somewhere in the office where I can build my studio. And they said yes. So then I built the studio there. And then I had my own little studio where I actually worked on music, because I also worked on music and sound effects for their products. And then me and Niko sat there quite some time.
But before that, you had a studio with Paavo.
Yes, from Anjuna Beats. Yeah.
So
founder, one of the.
we know him like way back. Yeah, from way back.
So did he reach out to you then, or how?
I think so.
I have a recollection that when the deal was over, like the 10-year, I think we thought about, well, should we make a re-release? And then we made the remake, the 11 remake. And then I think we sent it to Paavo and we sent it to some others. And they really liked it. And they said that, hey, is this free? Like, not free, but it's like open.
Available.
Yeah, that's a good word. And then I think we didn't negotiate with them. I think it was more like we just sent them like, hey, this is now available. I don't think they reached out. I could be wrong, though, because it's such a long time ago. And I'm getting old and something else.
So did you guys select the remixer, or was this like done by the label?
Done by the label.
Yeah.
I think Paavo asked us, do you have any specific remixers in mind? And I think 4 Strings was one of them.
Yeah.
I had very vague memory of that, and that we actually said that, hey, this guy, because they had like huge hits. And I think we were thinking that would be a good one, but I'm not 100% sure yet about that. But
yeah. So how were the reactions on the 2011 remixes?
It was good. Of course, not like the same as for the original, but it was good.
Yeah.
I really actually have to say that the 4 Strings remix, for me personally, I really, really like what they did.
Yeah.
I think that they kept the essence of the song, but they turned and twisted it into something that I actually, even today, when my friends are, hey, can you play the song of yours? And I'm asking like, do you want the 4 strings or the original? And if I play the original, I go, no, this is not it. When I play the 4 strings, oh, this is it.
Okay.
So it has its own fan base.
Yeah. So yeah, this year you're celebrating the 25th anniversary of Son. So can we expect something special, like a re-release or maybe new remixes, or because is the track still available?
Now it is.
We haven't thought about it.
Yeah. Now we own the rights to the song again. So we have not discussed. We have actually briefly, over a beer kind of discussion, like, do we? And then we're like, let's see. But we haven't made any decisions or anything about it. So unless you have, that I don't know.
Let's see what happens. So in the beginning of 2025, you guys released the track "Let Me Breathe" at Solarstone's Pure Trance Recordings. So can we expect more releases at that label?
We haven't had any discussions about it. Maybe.
So do you have something finished already, or?
Yeah, we actually had a gig last summer.
Well, in August this year.
In August, yeah. This club Unity that I was talking about earlier, they had a party. They had like a brief 17-year pause having parties until arranged right after the previous one. They arranged a new one, and we were playing there.
Yeah.
And I tried including quite a few of new stuff that I've been working on, like as a hobby.
Yeah.
And let's see.
Yeah, for me personally also, because I don't have studio anymore. I sold my studio back in the days already. So I have some synthesizer at home, like these Roland, what do you call it, Boutique? These small ones that Roland produced, like analog, kind of like virtual analog synthesizers. So I have like 8 or 9 of them at home. So I could, in theory, make something, but I'm too lazy.
Yeah.
But like you asked, like, do we have something coming? We don't know. We don't plan that. It's come more or less like Let Me Breathe. It was more, I think, when did it make the first version of that? It was like, quite a long time ago. Let Me Breathe, like a year ago?
Like a year ago, yeah.
So it was like bubbling under, and like I said, we have like day jobs. So
yeah, exactly.
So it's not a full time. So wait, let's see. Maybe.
Yeah. Who knows? Wait, I'm trying to think. Let Me Breathe. That also was like Orchidea remix, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Orchidea was involved in this, so we are good friends. So I played the song to him, and he was like, "Hey, this is quite good, and this should be released."
Yeah. Cool. So what else can we expect from you guys in the future?
Hard to say.
No plans.
No, we don't really plan for future in terms of music.
Yeah, it comes and goes as
Yeah, and it's more like if I would now have a track that I'm like, hey, this could be something or cool, then I send it. Well, today compared to like when we produced music in the 90s or early 2000s, internet was not that the great place to share, but today it's like you just like, hey, I have this bass line or chorus or melody. You just put it online and hey, what do you think? And Niko can pick it up like whenever he wants to, and continue if he feels for it. So it's easier today to collaborate, so you don't have to sit in the studio, and or because we don't have a studio anymore, so you have to rent studio. So then you have to go there and actually do something instead of like having your own studio where you just sit there and drink beer and have fun.
And it's a creative process. So if you rent a studio for like 2 hours and if there's no inspiration, then you can drink beer.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
So is there still something on your bucket list music-wise?
I don't know. Go to Google that.
It would be nice to release something or release the old tracks that we have made years ago.
We had a plan actually after our Chill Out album, which was like we paid it for ourselves.
Yeah.
And it was like just like an idea. Let's put it out.
Yeah.
We had like intros from all our gigs, and we thought that let's make them a little bit longer into tracks. And then we released them. People were pretty like, our fans. They were pretty shocked because they were always expecting us to have like a trance record.
Yeah.
Full LP. But we did it because we thought that it would be fun. and easy. And then we thought it was just like again, a hobby thing.
Yeah.
And so people are still, after our gig in August, people were coming to me like, so when will you release your old tracks? I was like, never. In that state they are, because the sound is not today's standard.
But maybe we could put the ambient album on Spotify. Which Saturday?
We actually could, because we owned all the rights to it. Because actually it was a label that Niko, your company, actually started. He started a label just to get it out. And so we own the rights to the song, so we could put it on Spotify.
Yeah, so I think a lot of people would be happy if they end up on Spotify.
Yeah.
And I mean, you have the material anyway, so...
This is again like just about how to arrange time for it.
Yeah. You guys are busy. So well,
I'm so busy these days.
and the last question, pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
I'm good with it.
Definitely.
Definitely.
Yeah. Well, I'm not putting it on like if I have like some seafood pizza or something. No. But I like when the pineapple and then salted, like for example, pepperoni. They mix very.
Yeah, it's like that.
It's like salted licorice and then like some strawberry candy.
Yeah.
They mix very well together.
Yeah.
So if in that sense, yes, definitely. So but not on everything, but yeah. I would not be mad if somebody brings me a pizza with pineapple.
Yeah, okay. So 2 times yes, great.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for your time and good luck with everything.
Hey, thank you so much for the interview.
Alright, that was it. This week's vlog, the story behind Sun, my interview with Slusnik Luna. Niko and Nikke, thanks a lot for your time. Much appreciated. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the vlog. If you did, make sure to give this video a like. Leave a comment in the comment section below. And very important, make sure to subscribe. Also make sure to click the bell button, because then you will get a notification the next time a new vlog is online. Once again, thanks for watching, and until next time, bye bye.